Hello everyone, this is Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzader with the latest edition of Southport Cardinal Chalk Talk, and we're with Jeff Adamson, the new girls golf coach here at Southport. Jeff, I really appreciate your time. As I mentioned earlier, you got a very nice looking shirt on. I know you play golf because of that.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations on your new spot here at Southport. Let's talk a little bit about your team. I see you've got 4 gals.
I do. 3 sophomores and 1 junior. And one of my gals is brand new to the game. She's only been playing for 3 weeks maybe.
And saw the schedule. You've had a few meets already. How's things going there?
Good. The girls struggled the first couple of weeks, kind of just getting in the flow of things. But we had a good meet last night against Franklin Central. The girls are really starting to make a lot of improvements, and which is good because we're getting close to the county and conference or around the corner in a couple of weeks. So we're starting to trend in the right direction.
Tell us a little bit about yourself as far as related to golf. How did you get started in golf? Did you play golf in high school? Number one, where'd you graduate from high school?
I'm actually from Cincinnati. I graduated from a small school called Taylor High School. It's on the west side of Cincinnati. I played all 4 years I was in high school, and I played 2 years for the middle school program. So I was JV freshman and sophomore year, and I was varsity junior and senior. And actually, I was your typical athlete up till then. I played baseball and football besides, and something took with golf, and all my grandparents played. And the more I started playing with them, the more I realized it wasn't a sport that I could conquer right away, and it kind of just drew me into the game.
Now, I remember when I was in high school, one of the things my dad told me, a golden rule is, if there's any sport you need to take up, it's golf, because you can play golf practically all your life. It's not like football or basketball where your body's going to kind of wear out, but golf is the sport to get out and get onto, because you can play it all your life. Would you contest to that, obviously?
I would, and the other great thing about golf is you make a lot of great contacts through golf. You'd be surprised just traveling, who you may run into that, they turn into friends or business contacts or whatever the case may be down the road. So it's a game you can play for a lifetime, and you can share with a lot of different people where other sports you may not be able to. Now,
I mentioned off camera, and you mentioned a game, because they characterize golf as a gentleman's game, and I would contest that 1,000%, because as I mentioned before, golf etiquette is just, if you could frame that and take that into life about, open the door for a woman and the politeness and all and the honesty and all that stuff. I'm not a golfer myself, but I just really look up to that, and I'm sure you'll contest to that too, just the etiquette in the game of golf.
Yeah, golf is probably the only sport out there where you police yourself as you play. You play football, baseball, you have refs that kind of watch. In golf, it's you versus the golf course, and you're responsible for penalizing yourself or things like that. So there's a lot of life lessons in golf that you learn in other sports, but you probably take more of these life lessons in from golf than you do other sports into your everyday world.
Do you have somebody on the pedestal in the pro game that you kind of look up to and idolize?
I grew up in the Tiger era, as we kind of talked about, but I like a lot of the young guys now, the Jason Days, the Rorys. They're dedicated to their sport. Golf has become more of an athletic sport, where it used to be back in the days of Jack and Arnie. Those guys didn't work out and they just partied all night. Now those guys are 3-4 hours in the gym, and they've turned it into more of an athletic sport than just something people do for the fun of it.
Now let's get back to Southport golf a little bit. Do you have, obviously, with that young foursome, you might say, what expectations, and I'm sure these gals will be watching this on the website, so we don't want to embarrass them too much or embarrass you, but what expectations do you have for them, basically this rookie year for you?
My expectations, I've talked with them before. I just want them to get better each and every day we go out there to practice, and I want them to have fun. When you play high school golf, for people that don't know, you take 4 scores from your team against 4 scores from the other school. Most schools that have 5 or 6 have that extra girl to rely on, where my girls, each of them is, the pressure's on them because there's nobody there to fill in for them. So I just want them to get better each and every week and have fun and continue to build the confidence in their abilities and in themselves. Golf is a game that can really kind of wreck your mental state a little bit because it's so hard to learn that it's easy to get down on yourself. So I just keep it fun for them. And as long as they keep enjoying and getting better, that's kind of my expectations for them this year. And with the group that I have, they're so dedicated. For the future girls that are coming, they'll be great building blocks for the program down the road.
Now, another thing I like about golf is everything is all plush. I mean, the greens and everything. You've been around this area. You play golf, obviously, if you work at a golf course. Not putting down where you work, but where does Jeff like to play? What course do you like?
I have a few that I like around this area. I love playing over at the Brickyard inside the Speedway. Just the whole fact of being inside the track as you're playing, it's a different experience you won't see anywhere else in this country. I actually live on the north side of Indy, so I love playing a Purgatory golf course, which is a link-style golf course. It's a lot of the heather, the high grass, and the bunkers, and when they want to, you can play it at 7,400 yards and really challenge yourself as much as you can. So those two are probably the two I enjoy playing the most around here.
Met anybody famous? Any famous golfers? Shook hands, say, "Hi, Arnie."
I've actually met Arnold Palmer before.
Is that right? I just threw that out there.
When I was 15, they used to play the senior tour event in Cincinnati, and I happened to be standing on the 10th tee, and he was playing with Chichi Rodriguez at the time, and those two were kind of just having a conversation, and I kind of got pulled into it, and so I talked to those guys for about 20 minutes. I've met Bill Haas before, who has won the FedEx Cup on the PGA Tour, and I've met Tim Rosefort, who's one of the golf writers for the Golf Week. So I've met a lot of different big name people and just in the golf business in general. I've seen everybody play. I've seen Jack. I've seen Lee. So I've had the opportunity to see a lot of great legends over the years.
Now, sometimes people have dreams. Have you ever dreamed about making the money these guys make and
I have.
Going to play on these courses and stuff like that?
I have, and I've played some of the courses they play on, and that's a totally different world. But actually, I am playing in a tournament on Monday for myself that if you finish in the top 5, you will go to nationals next year. And the top 20 at nationals will get into the PGA Championship, the final major of the season.
Wow!
So I still occasionally do, and I do occasionally do the U.S. Open qualifier to try and get into the Open. So besides coaching and working on a golf course, I still chase that a little bit of the dream that I still have.
Now, besides playing, been any famous galleries?
No, nothing.
Are you going to attend one in the Indianapolis area here coming up in September? I'm trying to think.
The BMW will be here in the week after Labor Day. So you'll have the top 60 in the FedEx Cup standing. So a lot of the big names, Rory, Phil. So I plan on attending 1 or 2 days up there. And then actually my hope is next year I'm going to go down to the Masters and watch it in April.
Now, you're a married man.
Yes.
Wife give you limitations since you work at a golf course? Honey, knock it off, or do you get kind of come and go if you're at the golf course 8 to 5 that you can go out and play on the weekends if you want to?
No, actually my wife is, she's very good about letting me play. She is actually a Southport grad, so, but
she play?
She does not. We're working on teaching her how to play, but she understands that, for 4 or 5 months out of the year, it's kind of my time to go out and play and practice, and then when winter rolls around, it's more of the downtime, and I can spend more time with her, and we can travel and do things like that. So she's very good about understanding what my situation is in the summer.
Now, one last question, and I'll let you go here. I'm not sure golf coaches do any scouting, but do you know, I mean, you've played 3 or 4 meets here already, and looking at the schedule, conference-wise and all that good stuff, do you know what other scores are going on out there right now, or have you had time to do that, or are you just kind of concentrating on the Lady Cardinals?
I concentrate on the Cardinals, but I do have a lot of contacts that are golf coaches, within the high school ranks. And then we played Franklin Central last night, and their coach Steve Land is a good friend of mine I've known for years. So we play a lot of the same schools, so we'll talk. Hey, what they shoot in the match when you played against them the other night? And I spend some time going around on the athletic websites, just seeing what scores have been posted, just to kind of give myself an idea of what the competition's doing. And there's a lot of schools that I know that have big programs right now. Have 10, 11 girls, and there's programs like mine that have 4 girls, and they're working to build them. So I'm just kind of in the same boat right now. Just keep working it, and as the years come, hopefully bring more into the program and compete with those other schools that have the bigger programs.
Now, I said that was the last question, but I got one more, and I don't know whether you have any comment on this or not, but when I was talking to the cross-country coach, and I think your sport's similar to that in the fact that the schedule kind of dictates more invitationals. In other words, there's multiple teams you're playing against at one time rather than dual meets. With your experience in Ohio, in Cincinnati when you played, you got any preference whether you'd rather play dual, or obviously when the IHSA tournament comes around, you're going to be playing against multiple teams, so it seems logical to play those invitationals rather than play dual meets. Do you have a feeling on that, Jeff?
I like playing in the invitationals because you see a lot more of the schools maybe you don't always see in dual meets, but I like the idea of dual meets and the fact that I think the girls learn that the more you play against the golf course in a dual meet, it seems like when they play in invitationals, I'm playing with 3 other girls. I don't know who they are, and they're more worried about who they're playing with and what they're doing on the golf course. Where in a dual meet, it's a little bit easier to get them to concentrate just on you versus the golf course, and don't worry about what the other girl's doing because there's another girl from your team in your group with you. But I like both aspects of it, but I think the dual meet for them is probably better in just keeping them calm and not so worked up as it kind of gets for them sometimes.
Yeah. Jeff, I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you. We'll be watching things on the website, the results, and have a good time.
Thank you.
This is Sweet Lou Jeff Luzatter with another edition of Southport Cardinal Chalk Talk. We're with Jeff Adamson, the new girls golf coach here at Southport High School. Thanks a lot for watching, and so long, everyone.